The 9-7 monkey is finally off the back of the Tennessee Titans as they get a 46-25 victory over the Detroit Lions. A pretty game Detroit Lions team at that, but a hell of a performance by this Titans offense. The defense, meh, but first and foremost, you got to give a lot of credit to Matthew Stafford. I mean, this man had multiple injuries, and throughout this game, it just really seemed like he was like tensing up, like, away from getting hit and whatnot. Obviously, you're going to do that if you're hurt. But this man had a gutsy performance. 22 of 32, 252 yards and a touchdown. He was doing a great job of moving the football down the field as well. And he did what he could in this game. I mean, at a certain point, he did get pulled in the fourth quarter after taking a big hit on a fumbled snap. But overall, I feel like Stafford had a pretty good game, and he did what he could. Marvin Jones absolutely torched this Tennessee secondary, 112 yards and a touchdown on 10 receptions. So a really good game for him. DeAndre Swift had his moments in this one as well, 67 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he had a really good performance. He also had 4 catches for 15 yards. But Tennessee's offense was just way too much for the Lions in this one. Ryan Tannehill, 21 of 27, 273 yards, 3 touchdowns in this one. He did a great job of moving the football in this one. Derrick Henry ran all over the Lions, 147 yards, a touchdown on 24 carries. And Darrington Evans came into the game. Ryan Tannehill also had 3 carries for 21 yards and 2 touchdowns in this one, including a gutsy 17-yard run. I believe it was in the second quarter. And that man is just... I mean, the offense just played amazingly in this one. Their only real mistakes in this game was David Quessenberry inexplicably trying to cut block Romeo Okwara on a second down from the 3-yard line, which led to a safety. Tannehill just got blown away by Okwara on that play. I mean, Quessenberry, he's been pretty bad since taking over for Ty Sambrailo, who was taking over for Taylor Lewan. He's had his moments of greatness, but he's also had his moments of just being absolutely terrible. So it is what it is. He's a third-string left tackle, so how much can you really expect from him at the end of the day? But Corey Davis, man, he was absolutely amazing. 110 yards and a 75-yard catch and run. It was a beautifully thrown ball by Tannehill in the first place, but Davis ran a really good route on the play as well, and he was able to run for the rest of the yardage he needed for the TD. Tennessee's offense just came out swinging, but it really was just the defense that really was head-scratching in this one. Not really head-scratching, because this is kind of how they've played all season. I mean, they really let the Lions stay in this game by just letting them convert third down after third down. I believe the Lions were 7 of 12 on third downs. They were 7 of 10 at one point. But then Tennessee defense started tightening up in the second half, no pun intended. But still, the defense has to wake up at a certain point and stop allowing all these yards. Again, Marvin Jones had over 100 yards on 10 catches and a touchdown. Stafford had a really good game. And there was just no pass rush whatsoever. Teair Tart did get a good shot on Stafford, and I think that's what led to him getting pulled from the game. I mean, the game was kind of out of reach anyways at that point, although it was still a 2-score game, I think, when he got pulled. So it wasn't necessarily out of reach, but still, Tennessee, no sacks in the past 3 games plus. I mean, this is going to cause a lot of issues when Tennessee gets to the playoffs. Well, theoretically, because Tennessee still hasn't clinched the playoff spot per se, they still have to win next week against Green Bay, or the week after against Houston, I believe, to secure a playoff spot, with Baltimore and Miami winning. But the defense had a few good moments. You had a good goal line stand where you had DeAndre Swift diving for the goal line, but I believe it was Jeffrey Simmons who forced the fumble, and then Will Compton recovered it. And then I believe third or fourth quarter, it was an end around to Hawkinson, and he just got unlucky, fumbled the football, and Simmons was able to recover it. There had to be a review done for it to be seen, but, they forced 2 turnovers, and for the most part, Tennessee stayed away from penalties. That was one of my keys, limit the mistakes. And they had the safety, and they had a few penalties, only 3 in the game, actually. But overall, they played mainly mistake-free football. It's just the defense has to play a lot better. They're not going to get away with this against Aaron Rodgers next week, so they're going to have to step up. Rodgers had a rough game against the Panthers yesterday, but still, he's probably just waiting to have a performance of a lifetime against this Tennessee secondary. But Adoree Jackson coming back into this game, he didn't play a ton, but he did enough to help the secondary out a little bit. There were times where Stafford couldn't find anybody down the field, which makes it all the more frustrating that Tennessee couldn't get a sack on him, especially with all the injuries they have in the offensive line. But we'll have to see. This Tennessee team is going to have to outgun teams like Green Bay and Kansas City and so on and so forth in order to have a shot at getting to the Super Bowl this year. But with all the weapons offensively that they have, it is very possible, but the defense has to make stops against those teams, like at least a few. They can't just let like Mahomes or Rodgers, whoever the hell else they play against this year, they cannot just let them throw against them at will, or it's going to be a very short playoff run for Tennessee this year. But a great win for Tennessee. I'm not going to try to sour the mood any further, but still a lot to work on defensively, a lot to work on special teams, and the offense has to avoid those mistakes, but they didn't have a lot of them. Tannehill did almost throw a pick at one point, but Oruwariye had a teammate run into him, so he couldn't hold on to it. So Tannehill got lucky there. And there were a few passes he fit into tight windows, but, you know, that's Tannehill for you. That's what he does. But outside of the safety and outside of the almost pick by Oruwariye, it was mainly a mistake-free game for Tennessee's offense. Defense just has to step up. Let me know in the comment section who your players of the game are. I would say Derrick Henry or Ryan Tannehill. You could go either way, even Corey Davis. They all played very well. Henry ran at will against this Lions defense, and it was a great game for the offense. Defense has to wake up a little bit, but we'll have to see what happens. Let me know in the comment section what your favorite part of the game was, what your favorite play was, who was the most important player on the team and all that. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button on this video as well, and turn your notifications on to join the notification gang. And we will keep the good vibes rolling here. Good win for the Titans today. It's been Kaz Cray, and if you want to see more videos on this channel, check out the videos in front of you.